Parking problems persist on campus, but more spots are on the way, plus a crime alert from Norman Police, why you need to watch yourself at the ATM. And gender-neutral restrooms are now open on campus. OU Nightly starts now. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Nicole Nielsen.
And I'm Parker Thune. It's no secret that it can be quite difficult to find a parking spot on campus. Garages and lots around OU fill up before 10 o'clock on most mornings.
Students often run late to class after spending extended amounts of time searching for a spot. OU Nightly's Cal Day joins us live at the Duck Pond parking lot with the university's response to this age-old issue.
Yeah, Parker and Nicole, I'm at one of the parking lots right here on campus where, as you can see, if a commuter were to pull up, they would certainly have their pick at whatever spot they wanted, but that's not the case in the mornings. Some commuters who have spent hundreds of dollars on parking passes tell me that in the morning these lots fill up quickly, which leads to frustration.
It's ridiculous. It takes me about an hour on some days, on the worst days, to find a parking spot.
Allison Chenoweth knows firsthand how hard it can be to find a place to put it and park every morning.
And I'll circle around all the different parking lots around campus and never find an open spot.
She's one of over 6,000 students who commute to campus each week. These sentiments echoed by OU Parking and Transportation Director Chris Glenn.
If you want to just one word to describe commuter parking for this semester, it's been tough.
Glenn says it boils down to the record number of students enrolling at the university. Since more students are living on campus, the need for parking increases. As a result, OU Parking removed one of the levels for commuters in the Jenkins garage.
Yeah, that was really frustrating when they took away an entire floor.
Glenn calls this a tough stretch for commuters, but to ease the burden, a new lot opened off Lindsay Street and George Avenue this semester. In the spring, 2 new lots will open on campus, offering more than 300 new spots for commuters.
That's really going to alleviate, I'm going to be confident and say it's going to alleviate all the commuter parking issues.
In the meantime, Glenn says better preparation could reduce the stress of finding a spot.
You've got a 9:30 class, get a campus between 9 and 9:15. Don't get a campus at 9:25. Don't get a campus at 9:29.
Now, OU Innovate and Twitter are being used to help make finding parking spots even easier. For now, we're live in Norman. Cal Day, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Cal. The first gender-neutral restrooms are now open on campus. All students can use the restrooms located in Beard Lounge at the Oklahoma Memorial Union. The restrooms are a product of a 15-page proposal written by student Destiny Dixon when she was the director of inclusivity for the Student Government Association. She hopes the restrooms on the second floor of the Union are just the beginning.
But hopefully it creates a topic of conversation that we can maybe hopefully one day have a gender-inclusive restroom in all buildings across campus.
SGA says it will open more gender-neutral restrooms in the future, but there is not a set timeline.
Now with the season of giving comes the season of spending, and police are warning of a new crime called bank jugging happening across the metro. Bank jugging is when thieves sit near banks waiting for someone to come out or go through the ATM. Criminals will then follow someone and wait for them to leave their car. Norman Police Captain Brent Barber says with so much going on this time of year, it's easy to leave things like cash, electronics, and other valuables out in plain sight for thieves.
We get busy, we get active, we tend to get distracted dealing with the kids in school and dealing with holiday activities and shopping. Most criminals are going to do the least amount of work to get a reward.
Captain Barber says that if you notice someone following you or see something suspicious, call 911.
Now, as it gets colder outside, the homeless population is becoming more vulnerable to dangerous temperatures. That's why some have been camping at Sutton Wilderness Park to help. The city of Norman is converting an old library into a warming shelter. The building will be the first qualified warming shelter in Norman, offering refuge for those trying to stay out of the cold. And though it isn't permanent, city officials say it offers a viable short-term solution.
A warming shelter is our opportunity to engage with the individuals who are living out there unsheltered, because again, that is our goal. We want to engage with the individual, get them into services, get housing, make sure they have the proper case management needs.
The shelter opens this Friday at the former Norman Central Library located on Webster Avenue. And Nicole, after a cold couple of weeks, the weather has been really warming up here in Norman.
It sure has. Marisa Nuzzo joins us now in studio with a look at what we can expect the rest of the week. Marisa.
Nicole and Parker, you guys are right. It is absolutely gorgeous out there right now. It is 60 degrees in Norman, 59 in Tulsa, and scratching the 70s down in Dallas right now. And we're expecting these trends to continue into tonight as well. We will get down into the 40s, but check this out. This cool north wind will be calming significantly. So those temperatures are going to feel exactly no wind chills at all. So coming up later, I have a little bit of weekend rain and also a look into your forecast for Dallas. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Marisa. And earlier today, another candidate withdrew from the race for the Democratic presidential nomination. McKenzie Gladney is in the news center with the full story and more national headlines. McKenzie?
Thanks. Due to financial pressures, this morning, California Senator Kamala Harris decided to end her 2020 presidential campaign. She first told her senior staff, and just hours ago, she sent out an email to her supporters. The email saying, "To my supporters, it is with deep regret, but with deep gratitude, I am suspending my campaign today." This comes after Harris struggled to move to the top of the polls, and largely due to her inability to fund her own campaign. Today, the House Intelligence Committee released a 300-page report listing evidence against President Donald Trump and the latest update of the impeachment inquiry. The report lists evidence of the president's obstruction of justice and states that Trump endangered national security to help his own re-election. The report includes 17 witness interviews, 12 of which come from the most recent hearings from the past 2 weeks. Although the report itself doesn't recommend impeachment, House Democrats will most likely use the document to create articles of impeachment. Today marks the 70th annual NATO summit in London, where leaders from around the world are meeting. President Trump is escalating international trade tensions after making threats towards China, France, and South America. The U.S. proposed tariffs on French and Brazilian goods, and President Trump continues to push back a trade deal with China, causing the Dow Jones to plummet more than 400 points today.
I don't watch the stock market. I watch jobs.
In future meetings, Trump is expected to close a trade deal with Mexico and Canada. And President Jimmy Carter is back in the hospital today due to a urinary tract infection. He was admitted to a Georgia hospital over the weekend, but officials say he's looking better and looks forward to returning home soon. Back to you at the desk.
Good news. Thank you, McKenzie. New numbers in this year's Sooner Safety and Fire report show an increase in sexual violence on campus. I sat down with a sexual assault survivor who told me why she decided to report.
At first, I didn't tell anybody that it happened for like a day or so.
It happens far too often. Victims of sexual assault staying silent.
And I was just gonna lay low at first and just like let it blow over, but after like my friends helped me, they're like, this isn't okay.
Experiences like the one in this anonymous interview of an OU student tell a story of harassment and assault that often leaves victims silent in fear of being shamed or doubted. But new numbers on campus show that OU is seeing a different trend among victims. According to the newest Sooner Safety and Fire report, rapes have more than doubled at OU from 20 cases in 2016 to 41 in 2018, while reported cases of fondling increased from 4 in 2016 to 18 in 2018. And while the numbers have gone up, Courtney Foster, the assistant executive director of the Women's Resource Center, attributes the rise to students having a better understanding of sexual violence and speaking out when it happens to them.
And I think a lot of it has to do with people understanding what sexual assault looks like and what it is. So in the past, we maybe defined sexual assault as a stranger that jumped out of the bushes or came from a weird band, something like that. Now we're starting to understand that the majority of sexual assaults happen because of someone that you know.
With more and more sexual assault cases on campus, Foster said university resources can play an important role in helping victims decide whether they should come forward.
We do really think that advocates are a beneficial resource to victims because they can be that one constant throughout the entire process.
The victim I spoke to said that OU advocates gave her the confidence that she needed to tell her story.
Like the way that advocates were like, we believe you, you are heard. I felt like I could come forward more because they were being so helpful.
And though you'd never expect it.
You never think it's gonna be you. And then it just happened. And
it can happen to anyone. And it's critical for students to know who to turn to.
If you or anyone you know need to report a sexual crime to the university, you can do so through Student Affairs or OUPD.
Well, Nicole, we know that texting isn't the greatest use of your time, but it can actually be a significant detriment to your physical health.
You know, that somehow doesn't surprise me. We're going to have that story, plus numbers rise for teenagers with pre-diabetes. We will explain next.
Welcome back. A word of warning for teens and young adults tonight. New research shows more people in that age range are classified as pre-diabetic. Pre-diabetes is a disease where blood sugar levels are elevated, and it's often a precursor to the full-blown disease. A study published in the Pediatric Journal of Medicine shows 18% of teenagers under 18 fall into the category. The numbers rise with age, with 24% of people between 19 and 34 years old considered pre-diabetic. Nationally, about 10% of Americans are diabetic, and in Oklahoma, that number is higher, coming in at 11.4%.
Now, none of us want to live without our cell phones, but they could actually be a huge pain in the neck, literally. Health reporter Tevis Hillis tells us about the harmful effects of spending the day texting.
The backbone of your body supports the weight of your head, but the strain on your neck from texting, looking at your computer, and reading might be causing some pain.
I've walked around campus with my backpack and looking at my phone and texting for a couple years now, and I just have this small pain in my neck that I just feel constantly.
Kennedy Miller is a sophomore here at OU. She knows the pain students commonly talk about. They text, they talk, and they search.
And the best way to explain it is with bowling balls. Take this 8-pound bowling ball, for example. It's easy to hold straight up and down, but every time I tilt a little forward, it causes more and more strain. Now look all the way down while you're texting can cause up to 50 or 60 more pounds of strain right on your neck.
So it's interesting when people look down to text, the neck flexes forward and the head moves forward relative to your body. And so what that does is it increases the weight and stress that your neck sees.
As your neck moves forward, there are a few things that cause the pain you might be experiencing.
There's really three things that contribute to it. One is flexing your head forward. Two is rolling your shoulders forward, and then the increased tension that comes just using that phone for an extended period of time with either texting or watching movies.
Now there are a few simple tricks to get rid of the bothering sting.
The best is to text less.
But if that is not realistic for you, here are a few other suggestions.
The recommendations are to take breaks when you're on your phone and work on stretching your neck up and actually pushing your chin back and extending your neck to open up some of those spaces in the back of your neck and stretch out your muscles.
Now, what Dr. Lewis did tell me is that if you hold your phone up like this and one thumb text, it's a lot better than looking down and just two thumb texting.
See, that's really interesting because I'm always texting with two thumbs, so it's good to know, less pain.
Less
for sure.
pain, and it'll help you sit
Who would
up
have thought
straighter.
that something as little as a thumb could have such a big impact on your spine?
Amazing.
Really
And your health.
interesting stuff.
Thank you, Tevis. Now, I know that we're dreaming of a white Christmas, but I'm wondering if it's actually going to happen this year, Parker.
Who knows, Nicole? I hope so. But after the break, Trey Bell will tell us the chances that we get snow over the holiday.
Plus, Marisa Nuzzo has your in-depth forecast. Marisa?
We do have some rain chances in the forecast, as well as a full forecast for Dallas for this weekend right after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Marisa Nuzzo with a look at your weather, and right now it is absolutely gorgeous outside in Oklahoma City. And here in Norman, too, it's 60 degrees, sunny skies, not humid at all. I'm loving this weather. How about you guys? Tonight or tomorrow, it looks like we're going to start off very chilly in the 30s, but that calm wind and clear skies will allow us to heat up pretty quickly, getting to about 60 degrees there in the afternoon. Now here over the next couple of days, we have a little bit going on. We do have this high pressure dominating our area, keeping us mostly dry, except for very small chance for some scattered showers on Wednesday. And then we kind of get trapped between two different systems here, this low pressure and then this cold front extending from the system way up in Michigan. So let's track out what this means for us here in Oklahoma. So the radar's not broken, we're actually just dry. Now here are these very tiny chance for some scattered showers on Wednesday evening. So if you get hit by some rain on Wednesday night, consider yourself lucky because it's a very, very small chance. Now Thursday, we'll have several bands of rain as those systems kind of paddle their way through Oklahoma, and that will clear out by Friday morning, and Friday looks dry. So if you're traveling down to Dallas for the game, it's going to be dry the whole weekend. Main thing to take away here is we'll be warming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you're going to be outside for tailgating, it's going to be dry and we'll be warming up. But if you're hanging out here in Oklahoma, maybe you'll do some shopping. I cannot take those Black Friday crowds, so I might be shopping this weekend. And it looks like a good weekend to do so if you're walking around at the mall. 40s and 50s, and then a little bit warmer on Sunday than Saturday if you're going to an outdoor mall. But other than that, the 7-day looks pretty nice. We only have rain chances a little bit going into Thursday, but other than that, it's pretty nice weather for us here in Oklahoma over the next 7 days.
Yeah, and it has been nice outside right now, let me tell you. I love it. Thank you so much.
We're definitely getting a little bit spoiled.
Yes, for sure.
Well, thanks, Marisa. And as we wrap up the semester, I know many of us already have Christmas break on our minds.
And maybe a white Christmas, I'm hoping.
So how about it? Does Oklahoma stand at least a chance for some snow?
Well, the OU Nightly weather team thought you might ask that, and we've been looking at some climatology. Trey Bell actually joins us live right now with some details.
I'm here at the Wells Family Christmas Tree Farm in Northeast Norman. It's absolutely gorgeous out here right now. There's no wind. It's a little cool. Might need a light jacket, but for December, this is really nice. And if you're still looking for a tree for this holiday season, this might be the place. You might want to come check it out for yourself. So what are the odds that these trees will have snow on them by Christmas? Well, in central Oklahoma, it's actually really low. So since 1890, since snowfall records began, snow has fallen on Christmas Day only 4 times. That gives you about a 3% chance of seeing snow actually falling on Christmas Day in a given year. Now, in terms of snow that's already on the ground, so snow that may have fallen in days prior and was cold enough to stay until Christmas morning, that's happened 6 times, giving you about a 5% chance of seeing that in any given year. Now for this year, the latest climate outlook from the National Weather Service says that December looks to be above average in temperature. So that doesn't mean we won't see a white Christmas. It just means the odds of seeing it are probably really low. So bringing it back here, it's beautiful out here again for December. While the prospect of a white Christmas may add to the holiday cheer, I'll take this any day. So from this fall wonderland here at the Christmas Tree Farm, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Trey. Now, Nicole, it's a huge weekend for Sooner football. Are you going to be at the Big 12 title game in Arlington?
Oh, I sure will. And so will Shiloh Sellers and the rest of our sports team. Shiloh, how excited are you?
I am very excited. It should be an excited matchup in Jerry World as the two teams rematch for the second time in 3 weeks. One Sooner team, on the other hand, already has their shot at a national title within reach. Sports is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Shiloh Sellers. Sooner volleyball heads to College Station to compete in the NCAA tournament for the first time in 5 years. OU Nightly's Christian Nunley joins us for more on the ladies' season.
Thank you, Shiloh. The Sooners shocked fans with a 19-8 record. For the first time since 2014, OU's volleyball team is going dancing.
Cinderella story, having to win their tournament to get in, and they did just...
Sooners head coach Lindsey Gray Walton joined the program in December of 2017 and has since led the squad to a 36-19 record, a complete turnaround from finishing 20-36 the 2 years prior to her arrival. Walton felt the team had already had all the pieces, they just needed to be aligned. And here they are, taking on Rice this Thursday at 4:30 Central Time in the second match of the NCAA tournament. Shiloh, Rice finished the season with a 26-3 record. Some silver lining, though. 2 of their losses came at a neutral site. Maybe their third this Saturday?
Let's hope so, Christian. And the rematch is set between the Oklahoma Sooners and the Baylor Bears. Come December 7th, these two teams will clash in Arlington, Texas for the Big 12 championship. The Sooners have the chance to clinch their 13th Big 12 title in program history. No one can forget the last time Oklahoma and Baylor met, when the Sooners found themselves 28-3 going into the half, only to have a valiant 34-31 comeback victory. And after a dominating win over the Oklahoma State Cowboys, the Crimson and Cream still have a chance at the college football playoffs. But quarterback Jalen Hurts says they are taking it one game at a time.
Got to worry about winning the day, honestly. Dominating today, dominating tomorrow, getting better every day, and putting ourselves in the best situation as far as going out there Saturday and playing our best ball.
The Atlanta Hawks snapped their losing streak, beating the Golden State Warriors 104-79 last night. Former Sooner Trey Young was on fire, boasting 24 points and 7 assists on the night. But Young wasn't the only Sooner running the courts. Buddy Hield came up big for the Sacramento Kings in their game against the Chicago Bulls, including a sneaky snag in the fourth quarter that finished in a dunk to boost the Kings to 83. They ultimately fell short 113-106 against the Windy City.
Left the field early on.
It was neck and neck last night between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks until midway in the second quarter when Russell Wilson's pass was batted back to him. He tries hitting it to the ground, but instead knocked it into the hands of Anthony Harris for a 20-yard pick six. He redeemed himself with a deep ball to David Moore for a 60-yard touchdown pass. The Vikings attempt a comeback, but ultimately fell short. The Hawks took the win 37-30. And the brawl between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers was nearly 2 weeks ago, but some people never forget. Check out what this Browns fan did to his back windshield when he got the helmet on the wiper. And the lovely picture of former OSU quarterback Mason Rudolph was bracing for impact.
I respect the cleverness there. It's a nice touch. Obviously, coming from a Browns fan, but I like it.
Thank you so much, Shiloh. When we return on OU Nightly, we've got a final look at your 5-day forecast.
Plus, taunting via marching band is all the rage in college football this year, and the pride of Oklahoma got in on the action this past weekend. Stay with us.
I'm Mariah Conduff at the OU Nightly Update Desk. A federal appeals court in New York made a ruling today allowing Congress access to President Trump's bank records for investigations into possible foreign influence in U.S. politics. And gun background checks are climbing toward a record high this year. On Black Friday alone, the FBI ran more than 200,000 background checks. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Mariah. Now, it's no secret that the Sooners own the Bedlam rivalry with Oklahoma State, but the pride of Oklahoma rubbed a little salt in the wound after the game.
They sure did, Nicole. Check out this video that recently surfaced on social media. Now, this is in the aftermath of OU's 34-16 victory over the Pokes on Saturday. Everybody's cleared out of the stadium except the band, and they're still blasting Boomer Sooner over and over and over again at full volume.
That's so funny. I love that. And you know what? It's going to be another big weekend for the Sooners here. So if you're driving down to Dallas and to Arlington for the game, big takeaway here is that it's going to be dry. You shouldn't have any travel impacts. It'll be pretty nice if you happen to be outside. And back home here, it's going to be a pretty nice week. We do have some small rain chances late Thursday evening into Friday morning, but by Friday morning we're going to be dry. Saturday and Sunday for the weekend, temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s, some light winds. It's going to be pretty beautiful this weekend.
Well, of course, AT&T Stadium is domed, so once you get inside, nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
Well, thanks, Marisa, and thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.